Hey everybody, how's it going? Right now I'm on Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro. I'm just going to take a little walk and watch the sunset. Right now it's about almost 7 I think, so the sun should be setting in the next 20 minutes or so. This is a great spot for an evening walk. I'm staying about 15 minutes from here, up in the hills behind Leme in a neighborhood called Babylonia. It's basically a favela that's been pacified so it's safe for tourists to visit. I'm staying there because it's quite a bit cheaper than staying in Copacabana. I booked an Airbnb up there for about, I think it's like $23 a night, something like that. It's amazing how much the atmosphere changes just a 15-minute walk away. Up where I'm staying, it's noisy, it's lively, it's a little run down, almost a little bit sketchy in some places, and you walk down the hill and there's just this beautiful beach, and way more laid back down here. I've been here in Rio for almost a month now, and I'll be leaving in just a few days. I'm a big fan of Rio. I've been working during my stay, so I haven't gotten to explore as much as I would have liked, but it's a beautiful city. I think the biggest drawback of Rio is the crime rate. I haven't had any issues, but I've heard so many stories about robberies and thefts and other violent crimes. I don't know how dangerous it actually is, but you do have to take some precautions when going out and about. I never walk around with my laptop or my main phone or cash or even really anything of value. I just bring my camera out when I'm filming, and that's about it. I've got my backup phone on me for navigation, which is like a $50 Android phone, so if that gets stolen it's not too big a deal, and yeah, a little bit of cash and that's it. One of my biggest regrets is that I didn't spend more time learning Portuguese before this trip. I started practicing on Duolingo about a month before I came to Brazil, and then I just kind of got busy and gave up on it. I've enjoyed my time here, but I would have enjoyed it so much more if I'd have taken the time to learn a little bit more Portuguese. I kind of assumed that my intermediate Spanish would be helpful, but it really hasn't been. Yeah, so if you're planning a trip here, the best piece of advice I can give is to practice your Portuguese, because English is pretty much non-existent here. I've been here for almost 3 months now, and I think I've only met a handful of English speakers. A couple of Airbnb hosts I've had were fluent, and that's about it. Yeah, if I could get my Portuguese to like an intermediate level, I would consider applying for the Brazil digital nomad visa. It seems like a pretty good deal. I think it allows you to stay for like a year, and the requirements aren't too strict. If I were to stay longer term, I'd probably stay in Florianopolis. Rio is nice, but it's a little too big of a city for me. I prefer kind of a smaller town. Not a small town, but just not a city this big. This street right here divides Leme and Copacabana beaches. Leme is one of the more laid-back and quiet beaches. Copacabana is a little more crowded and active. Looks like the sun is down now. It should start getting dark here pretty soon. See how the city looks when it lights up. There's lots of people out walking their dogs tonight. It's a good time to go for a walk. It's a little cooler. The sun's going down. Wish I had a bike to ride. I think Rio would be a pretty good city for cycling. It's fairly flat. There are quite a few bike paths, especially along the beach areas. I haven't tried any of these beach restaurants yet. I might stop by one and grab a bite to eat on my way back. They're kind of pricey, but might be worth it. This place is pretty busy. What's going on here? Oh, they got a live band playing. There's a market over there across the street where you can buy souvenirs and artwork and handicrafts, clothing, that kind of stuff. It's a big city. It's almost like two cities. Downtown and the beaches area are distinctly different. As I said earlier, I've been here for about a month now, living as a digital nomad. I think Rio is a really good value destination for that kind of lifestyle. Like, it's a world-class city. It's got great infrastructure, loads of stuff to do, friendly people, and it's surprisingly affordable. The place I'm staying now, I think I paid around $350 for 2 weeks, and around the same when I was staying in Lapa. So yeah, for like $600 to $700 a month, you can get a studio or a one-bedroom apartment in a nice area. Yeah, transportation infrastructure is great, easy to get around. Food is Little pricey, but not too bad. I'd recommend considering it if you're looking for a place to work remotely from. Before I was here, I was in Buenos Aires for about a month and a half, and that was a lot more affordable, but I think the quality of life here is a little better. The economy is stronger, maybe more stuff going on, it seems like. Yeah, I like Brazil a lot. Looks like there's a soccer game going on, or football, as they would say here. I think it's just ending. Acai. It's probably one of the more famous snacks you can get here on the beach in Rio. It's like a berry from a palm tree that's pulverized into a pulp, and then they freeze it, kind of into an ice cream type of thing, and then they scoop it into a cup and top it with different toppings like fresh berries, fresh fruits, nuts, oats, candy, honey, all kinds of different stuff. It's pretty good. I think it's kind of an acquired taste. On its own, it's not too exciting, but with the toppings, it's pretty nice. There's the famous Copacabana Palace Hotel. That hotel was opened in 1923. That makes it almost 100 years old. That's probably the best hotel in Rio, maybe even the best hotel in all of South America. That's where all the celebrities and heads of state stay when visiting. It's a little bit out of my price range, but maybe next time. I think rooms there start at around $500 a night. It's a really beautiful building, especially when it's lit up at night like this. All of the big chain hotels have locations along Copacabana here as well. There's a Marriott, a Windsor, a Hilton, all your favorite chains. There's also a Selena hostel, if you like that chain. I'm not really a fan, but they're pretty popular in South America. Now we're starting to see some sunset colors. That's pretty spectacular. I love a good sunset. Not sure what time the beach closes, or if it closes. I mean, I'm sure the boardwalk is open always, but I don't know if they kick people off the beach at night, or what. I can't get over how good looking everyone in Brazil is. It seems like everyone's in pretty good shape as well. There's some police patrolling. I think Copacabana is one of the safer areas. The whole beach zone is pretty safe, from what I've read anyway. The street food on the beach is not super exciting. See, this one's got popcorn. There's some churro stands, acai, corn. There's some hamburger and hot dog places. Nothing too spectacular, but I guess there's some decent snacks. If you want an actual meal, you'll have to go to one of the beach restaurants. A lot of times I'll pack my own food when I go out sightseeing. Sometimes I'll just make some sandwiches and bring them with me in my backpack, but tonight I didn't bring anything, so probably stop at a restaurant on my way back. I will say Brazilian food is pretty good. Lots of fresh, nice ingredients, good meat. Yeah, some good, healthy dishes. One thing that surprised me is how good their bread is here. I'm a big bread eater. I eat bread with pretty much every meal. And yeah, I've gone to a few bakeries, and every time the bread is really great. Even just grocery store bakeries make some really good bread. So, who'd have thought? Brazilian bread. There's a nice sandcastle on the left. I think they charge you to take pictures with that. The beaches here are divided by lifeguard stations, so there's number 3, postal 3. Every post has kind of a different vibe. So posts, I think 1 and 2 are Leme, and 3 through 6 are Copacabana, and then 7, 8, and 9 are Ipanema, and then 10 through 12 are Leblon, something like that. I'm going to walk down to post 6 or 7. Different sections of the beach attract different crowds. Some sections attract families, some attract younger people. There are a couple sections where LGBT people hang out. Some sections are more active with sports, people playing soccer, volleyball, that kind of thing. There's somewhere for everyone to hang out here. Beach volleyball is really popular here. And I've noticed people are playing basically volleyball with their feet, kicking the ball over the net. I'm not sure what they call that, but it seems to be pretty popular. Maybe that's a Brazilian game, because I don't think I've ever seen that anywhere else or heard of it. It looks like a lot of fun, but really intense and difficult. Not something I could do. There's a caipirinha stand. You can drink on the beach. You can walk around drinking a beer or a mixed drink and nobody's going to bother you. Actually, alcohol is sold all over the place on the beach here. I'm not sure how the low light performance on this camera is. I just got it before this trip, so hopefully this video turns out alright once it gets dark. All of these beach restaurants look exactly the same. Not sure if they're all owned by the same company or what. Lots of people selling souvenirs. There's little knickknacks and clothing and jewelry and different stuff. I'm not really much of a souvenir person. I do need to get a hat, so maybe tomorrow I'll go shopping. Getting pretty dark out now. The beach is really well lit though. It's a little bit crowded through here. See if I can get around these people. This is quite a walk down here. I think Copacabana Beach is around 4 kilometers long. Something like that. Not sure if I'll walk back or I'll take the metro. Or maybe I'll walk away from the beach through the city a little bit. Lots of food and drink stands through here. You got coconuts, cocktails, beer, drinks. What's that? Not sure. Acai, hot dogs. Some nice artwork for sale here. Here's post number 4. It's nice that the vendors here aren't too aggressive. You can walk along and nobody's going to bother you. I mean, once in a while someone might approach you to offer to sell you a drink or something like that, but it's not really an issue. You can just say no thanks and they'll leave you alone. I've been to some countries where vendors won't take no for an answer and it just gets exhausting. But here you can just walk along the beach and mind your own business. Nobody's going to bug you. Hot dogs. Looks like churros there. Another beach bar. I wish I had a bike to ride. I should have signed up for Rio's bike sharing program, but I never got around to it. Maybe I'll rent a bike one of these days. I'm only here for a few more days, so I don't know if I'll get around to it or not. I love walking around cities at night. Something about the aesthetics of the lit up streets, signs, buildings. It's beautiful. This probably isn't the safest place to go on night walks, but still nice. Seems like it's getting a little more crowded down at this end of the beach, but still not too bad. I think that's Forte de Copacabana off in the distance there, where you see those lights. Forte de Copacabana is a military base. It's open to the public. There's some viewpoints and there's a museum you can visit as well. I love how the style in Brazil is so casual. Everyone just wearing shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops, athletic clothing. It's just really laid back, not just by the beach. People are dressed like that everywhere, even downtown. There's another sandcastle coming up on the left. There's another souvenir market. I walked through that one the other day. It's mostly the same stuff at all these markets. It's a lot of clothing, jewelry, little knickknacks like statues of the Christ the Redeemer, that kind of thing. There are some nice looking clothes, really colorful fabrics. There's post 5. I think I started at around post 2. Looks like the water's pretty calm tonight. It was stormy last week and there were some huge waves. There's a tractor. I guess they're cleaning up the beach. Rio takes great care of its beaches. They're very clean. In a lot of big cities, the beaches are full of trash, but not here. They're spotless. I'd be interested to know what rent costs in these apartments along here. I'm sure it's not cheap. There are some really nice looking buildings along here. There are still a few people on the beach. There's some guys surf fishing. I'm not sure what they'd be catching along here. I'm starting to get a little hungry, so I'll probably wrap this video up once I reach the Forte de Copacabana down there. I'll grab a bite to eat. Not sure what I'll have. I think I'll check out the menu at one of these beach restaurants, or maybe cross the street and look for something on the other side. More people fishing. I've done quite a bit of fishing, but I've never done surf fishing. I'd like to try that someday. Alright, you guys, I'm getting toward the end here, so I think I'm going to cut this video. Almost at Forte de Copacabana. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this evening walk on Copacabana Beach. I'll catch you in the next one.